Hey, welcome to the Empower Network Team Empower You. I am founder Jim Whittaker, and want to welcome all our team members and those members of Empower Network who aren't on our team but who are just looking in on the training tonight, and also all you who are not members of Empower Network. You are welcome, and we hope you find value in this training we're doing tonight, because that's what it's all about. Sharing information that helps people create success online. And tonight, that training is going to be very powerful. I can tell you that you're going to need to listen carefully. If you don't have a pen and paper, get it now. Take some notes. And I'm going to share with you the number one secret to creating success online, or really anywhere. And that's the thing, if you're in Empower Network or not. This works. This works for success in life, regardless of what business you're in. Now, if you don't know by now, your results at Empower Network are going to be much greater. That's just the way it is. This is not just an internet marketing business. This is a movement. And there are so many testimonials out there of people who have struggled for years online and now are creating the life of their dreams. And there's people who have made their first $25. And there are people who had success online, but now they're having tremendous success, making hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. I mean, it's just truly amazing. I'm just so happy to be a part of it, and I know the other members here are as well. So again, welcome, and I hope you find value in what we're going to talk about tonight. Tonight, we're really going to get into mindset more than anything else, because if you know the reason why, the how is going to come. The how is going to be the easy part, but you have to have the right mindset. And when I'm talking about the right mindset in this business, you're more than likely not here to earn a couple hundred extra bucks a week, or $1,000 a month. Some of you may be, but for the majority of you here, you're looking to earn 6 and 7 figures. So what I'm talking about is how to create a 6 and 7 figure mindset. And there's a lot involved in that. And it's not just a process where I'm going to talk about it tonight and you're going to get it. Now, you're going to get it, you're going to understand it, but it's going to be an ongoing process. And let me give you an example, because I learned this back in 1988. 1988, I started in the real estate industry. And I started in January. So in November of that year, I had my first $30,000 month. First $30,000 month in anything. But at that time, that was in real estate. And what happened over the next few months, and I really didn't understand why until later on, but I just self-destructed. I really didn't do anything for almost 3 months after that. And it wasn't because I had money in the bank. It was something that was unconscious. And I probably could have used some therapy, but I just really read and learned myself, and have always been into personal development and personal growth. And I came across a couple books, and one of the things about Empower Network is we're not just about making money. We're about personal growth and developing leaders. So one of our 8 core steps is reading daily. So as we're going through this, I'm going to give you some books that have helped me through time. And if you're doing the 8 core steps and you're reading every day, these books are fantastic. Obviously, one of them is Think and Grow Rich. That's the number one hands-on success, step-by-step mindset book of all time. But another book I found to be very useful was called Psycho-Cybernetics, and Dan Kennedy has the rights to that now, but that was published by Maxwell Maltz, who was not only a psychologist, but he was a plastic surgeon. And he related a lot to his patients, his plastic surgeon patients, and how he could change their looks, and some of them would get it and some of them wouldn't. But he relates to how the mind is more important than anything, because it wasn't really a matter of what he did. If that person did not change the way they were thinking, they were not going to be happy with the result. And the exact opposite is true. If they did change their way of thinking, then they were very happy with the results that they received from his plastic surgery and whatever change he did. But reading is a big part of mindset. But getting back to that self-destruction back in 1988 for me, what it was an unconscious thoughts that no one in my family had ever made $30,000 in a year, and here I made $30,000 in 1 month. And I never thought about it consciously, but it obviously was something I didn't feel like I deserved it unconsciously, because it was just so much more than I could even believe was possible at the time. But this is why you need to constantly be reading and listening to audios, another one of the 8 core steps, to develop yourself. Turn off the TV and the crime scenes and the news and the blood and guts and the gore, because that's what you're feeding into your mind. So, put an audio on, read a book, develop yourself personally. If you want to get where I am and where other people are that you see that you want to be, then you have to do the things that they do. And that is to read every day. That is to listen to audios every day about personal growth, or even audio books if you don't like reading. But, feed positive stuff into your mind and your body, not all the negative that's around you. You're going to have enough of that even if you try to avoid it. And then second is surround yourself with people with common goals, because, every person out there's people, if you have a dream and you might be the only one that believes in that dream. Now, if you're lucky, you have a spouse and, a family that's supporting you in that dream. But there's a good possibility that if they don't understand that they're not supporting you, that they're telling you that, maybe you can't do it, or, that can't be real, or it's a scam, or whatever. But it's not. I mean, you know that you can do it. And that's why you're here. That's why you're on this webinar, because you're trying to figure it out. And I commend you for that. But the place to start is in your mindset. And, you need to counteract all that negativity. And a great way to do that, another one of the 8 core steps with Empower Network, is get to an event. Get around people who are doing what you want to do, and, who have common goals and who have a sincere interest in you succeeding. And that's really the way it is here at Empower Network. It's a community. And if you haven't seen by now, we are not afraid to share everything that we know. Any secret we know. You're going to find that any member of Empower Network, if you ask a question, they're going to give you the honest answer, and they're going to tell you the way it is. And, you're not going to get that in other places, because we understand a life of abundance, another mindset of 6- and 7-figure earners. But you need to have a life of a mindset of abundance, because if you don't, if you're hiding, you're doing something that's really working, you're hiding that, you don't want to share that with other people, then you're actually telling yourself, you're defeating yourself, because you're telling yourself there's not enough out there for everyone. So, share your information, help others. That's the only way to create true success in this business. And that's by pushing up other people. And that's another book that you can read. It's by Art Williams. He was actually the founder of A.L. Williams, which is now Primerica, another network marketing company that's still around. But that's an excellent book, Pushing Up People, because he went from being a high school coach to an insurance mogul to creating this, I would guess, multi-million-dollar, maybe billion-dollar empire with network marketing. as far as insurance and mutual funds back then. So that's another book. If you're looking for a book to read, that's going to help you tremendously in this business, because he was a master at motivating people and getting them to perform at their highest level. So you can get a lot from that book. But, understand that if you stick with this and you take massive action, you develop the right mindset, you're going to have tremendous success. And there's going to be points that you're going to go beyond anything in your wildest imagination. And you're going to have to overcome that. You may say, well, making $10,000 a month or $100,000 a month, I can handle it. And, who wouldn't want that? But can you really? I mean, you can if you develop your mind to the point where you can handle it. But if you haven't done it, if no one's ever done it, and even right now you can't even imagine yourself doing it, which we're going to change that tonight, it's going to be hard for you to handle. Take it from me, from my personal experience. But, the thing is that when you're looking at me and the people on my team, they are not going to see the struggles that I go through, just like the struggles that you go through with family, with health, with different things in life, because I fight that off, and I do it with positive influences, positive audios. And when I get up in the morning, I feel just like you. I mean, there's days where maybe I don't feel the greatest, or something's going on, and I'm just like, can I do it today? But I do. I just tell myself that I deserve it, that I have people counting on me, my team, my family, they deserve it. So I have to do it. I have to get up. I have to do the things that I have set to do. And one of the things that will help you to get up and have a plan of action is to create a to-do list, but not just a to-do list. I mean, your to-do list, what everyone will have is do a blog post, maybe create a video, things like that. Well, that's great. You're gonna do that every day. Read your 8 core steps. So these are going to be on your to-do list. But at the top of your to-do list, if there's an amount of money that you want to make today, you need to put that in big bold letters. So, if you want to make $100 today, and put, I'm going to make $100 today. And, underneath of that, here at Empower Network is get 2 people a day. So that's on the to-do list every day, get 2 people a day. But, your number may not be get $100 a day. It may be get it to earn $1,000 today. So you put that at the top and then get 2 people a day, or vice versa. But however you do it, that's the top of your list every day. And below that is to do a blog post and do a video. And what will happen with your mind, you can say, well, I know my to-do list. I have it in my mind. Well, that's not enough. It's like setting a goal. And we're going to get into a little more of setting a powerful goal in just a second. But with the to-do list, your mind is a goal finding machine. It's a solution oriented. It's always searching for a solution, searching for your goals, to accomplish those. It doesn't like having an undone to-do list. It wants to check those things off. So when you get these things in your mind every single day, then your mind is working for you behind the scenes. You don't even realize it. And, things are going to happen that seem like magic, but they're happening because, you set your mind in motion, and it's a very powerful tool. So when you do your to-do list, put that at the top. Definitely, if you're here in Empower Network, get 2 a day. Get 2 people a day. And don't just write it down, believe it, feel it. You're going to get 2 people a day. That's your clear intention, regardless of whatever else you do today. And then you're going to get down to your actual income producing activities, to do a blog, do a video, do a webinar like this, whatever it's going to be. But you're going to do all of these things. and you're going to put it all in writing. And you're going to look at that list at night before you go to bed. And you're going to look at that list again the next morning. And you want to get through that entire list before you go to bed the following night. And you want to have another list for the next day. Because by looking at it at night before you go to bed, it gives your mind the whole night to work on how it's going to check the things off on this list. And then you wake up the next morning, do you want to get through that feeling of it's a fuzzy day, you're not feeling the greatest, this is not the day for you to conquer the world, so you need to change that feeling. But, the more of a habit you get into with doing these things, the easier it is to get up and just assert your power every morning. So create that to-do list and just 5 things maximum, because if you put too many things on there, and it's unrealistic or, it's just too much for you to get done, you're not going to do it. So keep it simple, keep it realistic. And, when I say realistic, I mean what your money goal is, it can be a little bit outside of your comfort zone, but, your mind will find a way to make it happen. So write it down, look at it at night, look at it in the morning, and you'll find that you're much more productive each and every day. But before we even get to the to-do list, everyone says, if it's really a goal, it needs to be in writing. And that's the truth. But, people write down goals all the time. And a lot of times in this business, it's a money goal. And that's okay if you do what I'm about to tell you to do. So we're going to take a break in a second, and I'm going to give you an assignment. And I want you to take a couple minutes, and I want you to write this down. I want you to write down, what your monthly goal is. It could be 5,000, 10,000, 30,000. It could be 100,000. I want you to write down honestly what your monthly goal is in this business or in whatever business you're in. What is your goal? How much money do you want to make on a monthly basis that's going to put you where you want to be? And in this case, I don't want you to limit your imagination. I want you to write down an honest number of, what would put you where you need it to be. So, for example, if you want to quit your job and you want to be able to travel some, what amount is going to allow you to do that? If you want to pay off medical bills, if you want to buy a house, if you want to buy a bigger house, if there's a certain kind of car you want, or motorcycle, or boat, whatever it is, I want you to write down the amount that it's going to take to do these things. And after you write that down, like I said, we're going to take a break in just a second, then I want you to write down 30 reasons why. 30 reasons why you want this amount of money every month. It has to be 30. 30 reasons, because I'm sure you can come up with 30 reasons easily. You want to put your wife, out of her job. You want to retire your wife from her job, or your husband. You want to send your child to a better school. You have the reasons. You have them there. So take the time now, write down how much you want to make on a monthly basis that's going to get you exactly to where you want to be, and write down 30 reasons why you want this amount of money every month. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to take a quick break, get a drink of water, and then I'll be back, and we'll continue with this. Okay, hopefully you've had enough time to write down the 30 reasons why. And, the reason that you need to write these reasons down is because as you're going through this, you're going to face struggles. You're going to face times that you might want to quit. And if you're just doing it for money, you're going to quit. If you don't understand all the reasons why, it's going to be too easy to quit. So this list is going to keep you going through the tough times. And, it's all about, if there's no failure, if there's no struggle, then you're not making progress. I mean, if you look at all the greatest, let's take athletes, for example, Babe Ruth, until Henry Aaron, he had the most home runs of all major leaguers, but he also had the most strikeouts. So he had more failures. I mean, if you look at Michael Jordan, he talks about all the times he failed. He did not make his high school basketball team, which is why he worked harder to get to where he was and became the greatest player ever in the history of the game. But, golfers, another great example. I mean, we don't see all the golf balls that they hit every single day to get to where they are when they're on the pro tour. But you're going to face adversity, and you need your why. You need your why right in front of your face when you hit that wall of adversity so that you can go right through it. So make sure, if you haven't completed that list, that you do complete that list along with your goal, and you look at that again every night before you go to bed, every morning when you get up. So, it's fresh in your mind, and your mind is out there looking for the answer to make it happen. So we've covered the to-do list, and we've covered setting goals. Now let's talk a little bit about you and about becoming a leader, becoming the leader that you want to join. Because for a lot of you out there right now, you aren't thinking of yourself as you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're not thinking of yourself as the person that people want to join. And you might think that, if a person, this is what happens when a person goes into the capture page. They're going to go into your capture page, and then they're going to, they may buy right away, but if they don't, they're going to be sent emails from you. But when they're being sent those emails from you, they are searching. I mean, if they're looking, they're doing their due diligence on Empower Network. So they're also opting into other people's lists, and they're watching videos of other people on Empower Network. It could be David Wood, could be me, could be Chris Record, could be Tony Rush. But it really doesn't matter, because you are a person that's building a relationship with them, and you need to become the leader that you want to join, and become the leader that they want to join. Because we all have successes. Just the fact that you made the decision to get into Empower Network is a success, and you're already on your way. And, every time you have additional successes, you need to let people know. But no matter where you are beyond where they are. So, be excited, be a leader, and know that people will join you. If that wasn't the case, the only people who would be successful here are Dave and Dave. He wouldn't join anyone else. They would only be joining the people that are making the most money, but that's not the case. People join the people usually that they have the first contact with, but you have to develop a relationship with them. And you're not going to do that if you aren't thinking of yourself as the leader that can help them get to where they want to go. So, I wanted you to be on this webinar with me. And in order to do that, you have to get yourself to a certain level. and be that leader that people want to join. And you can do it. I mean, it's not a difficult task, but it starts in your mind. Don't be shooting yourself in the foot. Don't be saying, well, they watch Tony Rush's video, so they're not going to join me. That's not the case at all. You need to be thinking, I am the best person for them to join. I can help them, and I can help them better than anyone else. And that's what you need to be projecting to them, because you have a lot of skills. I mean, there's things. Think about all the successes that you've had in your life, and you can talk about those, and you can share those. It's not about. Most of us come online because we've gone from the light into the darkness, or actually we've been in the darkness all the time. But for the majority of people that I talk to and that are on the team, they've suffered some sort of situation that, it could be a bankruptcy, it could be a foreclosure, it could be both, loss of a job, where they just have to find something else, pretty much desperation. So, it's not about where you are right now, it's where you're going. And you have to keep focusing on where you're going, not where you've been, because that has nothing to do with the possibilities that are ahead of you. So keep that excitement up, focus on the possibilities, and, become the leader that you want to join. There's something called a USP. It's a unique selling proposition. And for you, you need to find out what that is. What is the reason that people should join you? And there are a lot of them. Don't think that there isn't. Just focus on the things, all the positive things about you, all the reasons that people would join you, all the reasons that you're able to help people get to where they want to go. Because that's the reason they're going to join you, because they see you as that person. So you need to become that person. So read, listen to the audios, get to the events. You need to lead by example. And these are the things that you have to do if you're going to be a leader by example, because you can't be telling your people to go to the event if you're not at the event. You can't be telling people to get all in if you're not all in. So if you're not all in, get all in. Log into your account, get all in right now. It's going to make all the difference in the world. That's the first step in becoming the leader that people want to join. That way you're not going to be hesitant about what you're going to do. And that is going to shift your mindset in a way. I'm going to tell you, I was at a point where I was just making about $1,000 a month and, just going along, and I was doing what I thought was what other people were doing. But there were two problems, again, that I didn't realize at the time. One is I wasn't all in. I was almost all in, but that's not all in at all the products but one. And two is I had never gone to an event until January, Austin, Texas. So in January, I went to that event and I got all in, and I had been at an event. So I was surrounded by people, and I had so many breakthroughs at that event. But what I was doing after that event, it was really just a shift in mindset. Being all in. I mean, just being fully committed. Not just committed, but being fully committed. That there was nothing that was going to keep me from getting where I wanted to go. And that changed everything. That was a game changer. Once I made that decision, in about 30 days, my income multiplied by 10 times. So, from $1,000 to $10,000 a month in 30 days without doing anything different, I mean, other than my thought process and being more focused on my income producing activities every day. But every morning that I woke up with a mission in mind to a day, that's the goal here. You just focus on getting to a day, and everything else will fall into place. But, you know, going to that event and getting all in changed it all. So, you know, I can only tell you, if you aren't signed up for the event in Chicago, April 19th to the 21st, log into your back office, get to that event right now. If you're not all in, log in, get all in. It's going to make all the difference. Do what you have to do to get all in, because, you know, you're here to change your life. And to change your life, you have to change your mindset. You have to change the way you think. There's a saying, you can make excuses or you can make money. You can't do both. So, you know, we all have excuses. We all have reasons why we can't be in Chicago. You know, things happen, things come up. But, you know, they're excuses. If you really want to be there, you're going to be there. You know, 8 years ago, I was diagnosed with colon cancer. And I had never been sick in my life, really, so I couldn't really complain that, you know, God had put this disease on me or anything like that. It was just something, you know, I was diagnosed with it. I had a blessed life, and now I had an illness to deal with that scares a lot of people. But something happened. I mean, in that year, I had 5 surgeries. Now, I had never been in a hospital before. I was an athlete. I spent 4 years in the Marine Corps. You know, I'd never broken a bone. I never had anything I needed to go to the hospital for. So, a very blessed life. But, you know, I had 5 surgeries that year. I had 6 weeks of chemotherapy. I had 6 months of radiation. I mean, 6 months of chemotherapy, 6 weeks of radiation. And I had an ileostomy. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's like a bag that comes out of your stomach, which is where you don't need to use a restroom for that period of time that you have it. Now, luckily for me, that was reversible. But I did have to deal with that bag for 9 months, from the time of my first surgery to the time that they removed it. But, you know, it's something that I could have very easily, I was in the real estate business at that time, and I could have very easily have said, you know, this is a good reason. I had the financial resources. I didn't have to work. I had good health insurance, thank God. And I could have just, you know, used that as an excuse not to do anything. But, you know, I made a decision to live. I mean, that's basically the decision that I made, that I was going to live, and I was going to live that year, and I was going to live many years beyond that. And I set out to basically not to be myself and not let anyone know what I was going through. The only people who knew were my parents, my sisters, and then my cousins who were like brothers and sisters to me, because we grew up in a tight-knit family. But, you know, no one else, no one I worked with, no one knew what I was dealing with. Through that entire time, I was able to keep that, and I was pretty amazed by that too. But not only that, in that year, I doubled my income from the year before. I just basically produced. I just used work as an outlet to keep myself going, you know, and set goals, set high goals to get through that year. And I didn't focus on what I was going through. Again, I focused on where I was going and living, not dying. I just focused on living, and it worked for me. I'm still here. It's 8 years later. It might be 9 years now. Lose track of time. It goes by so fast. But, you know, that was a powerful lesson for me. And you hear people say all the time that, you know, getting cancer or getting some disease, if you survive it, you know, it's a blessing, because it changes the way you look at everything. I mean, it really magnifies everything that you see in life. But the most important thing is it brings out the priorities in your life. It brings out what's really important. You know, so you can focus on those things, and you can focus on other people. I mean, that's the biggest thing it made me realize that, um, you know, I was a person who just went into the office with blinders on, in and out. I didn't really look around. I didn't want to get into conversations, make eye contact with other people. I had a mission to get in, get out. But after this event, it made me look around a little bit. If I saw someone who wasn't feeling well, or needed someone to talk to, needed someone to make them laugh, make them smile for just a minute, whatever they were going through, I became the person that would stop and be that person for them, be there for other people, not just for myself. Because I thought I always thought I was a good man. I didn't hurt anyone, didn't do anything like that, but I didn't really go out of my way to make other people feel better. So, to say I was a good man, maybe, maybe not, but not. I'm a much better man now. Let's put it that way. So, you don't have to wait for things like that to happen to realize what's important. Family, friends, your health, all these things are your priorities, and forget about the rest. If it's not life or death, why are you worried about it? It's going to come and go. It's just something that's happening, and worry will bring you down more and faster than anything. So the key with mindset is focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Just continue to focus on what you want. You can look at other books like The Secret. That's all about focusing on what you want, because your mind and the universe is going to give you whatever you're thinking about. So why not make it what you want, not what you don't want? And that's easier said than done. Like I said, you're going to have to continuously read. You're going to have to listen to audios. You're going to have to develop yourself personally to get to where you want to go. So, and if you don't know by now, Empower Network is a leadership development company. So it's not only going to, the courses are not only going to teach you how to create the life you want online, it's going to help you to become a leader, to grow personally, to have a better balance in life, spiritually. When I say spiritually, we have people here, Christians, Muslims, Jews, atheists. It doesn't really matter. Everyone is welcome at Empower Network. So whatever spiritually means to you, just maybe to be happy, physically, mentally, you can balance your life and have a great life. For me, in the real estate industry, the way that I got into this business, now this is kind of going around about, but basically I was making multiple six figures a year, moving along great, and then the real estate market collapses, everyone knows, around 2008, 2009. And my income just went down to below six figures, and you may think that 50 or 75,000 is a lot, but not when your bills are based on 250 or 300,000 a year. So, there's things you can't get rid of. So I ended up filing bankruptcy, losing everything, and I can't say that I've ever been poor, but I have been broke and bankrupt. I've always had a roof over my head, food on the table. So there's a lot of people who are in a lot worse situation than I am. And there's a lot of people who are in a lot worse situation than you are. We have people here that were, that are making over $100,000 a month, that were addicted to drugs just a few years ago, living on the street. We have people who were homeless, living in their car. We have people who have had cancer and couldn't pay their medical bills and now can do that. We have one guy who was facing suicide, and basically one of the Empower Network is called the Inner Circle. These are the audios that you can download and listen to in your car or on your iPod. And if you don't have the Inner Circle, get in there and get that now, because this actually saved a man's life. And that's on the Costa Rica Mastermind course. So you can see his story. It's a true story. actually happened. Empower Network Inner Circle actually saved a man's life. And for those circumstances to happen and for him to turn around the way he did is just a miracle. It's just amazing. But, these are the kind of things that can happen. And no matter where you are, there's someone who is in a worse situation than you. And there's a story here where someone has turned their life around from way beyond where you are right now and are on top of the world now. So if they can do it, if I can do it, you can do it too. So if you're not all in, there's a button below this video, just get into Empower Network now. It's $25. I mean, it's not, it's not something, it's not an executive decision has to be made. You don't have to break the bank. You can get into Empower Network and you can change your life just like thousands of others have done. February, we had our first month. It was a 28-day month, and we had our first month with only over 10,000 new members. And we will have months of 50,000 new members and 100,000 new members. So it's all about timing. Timing is everything. And if you're not in, there's never been a better time than right now to get in. When we're at $10,000, 10,000 members, new members a month, and going to 100,000 new members a month. So can you imagine where you'd be? It's like if you would have bought Microsoft stock in the 80s. Can you imagine where you would be today if you would have held on to that and sold it? It's the same kind of thing. It's timing. It's all about timing and taking action. I mean, the key is that you have to do something or nothing's going to change. And what choices do you have? I mean, if you're not in Empower Network and you're on this training webinar right now, or if you're in Empower Network and you're not all in, you're just putting your toes in the water and you're trying it. When you try something, you're just setting yourself up for failure. So, you've already done your homework. You know it works. You've done your due diligence. You just have to make a decision. If you don't make a change, you're going to keep doing what you're doing. And think about this. Picture your life right now. Just close your eyes and you're making no changes. And 1 year from now, where are you going to be? How about 5 years from now? And 10 years from now? Now open your eyes, take a deep breath, clear your head. Now picture that you make the decision. You click on that button and everything changes. Now you're getting everything that you want in your life. Now close your eyes. See yourself in a year from now. Where are you living? What does it look like? About 5 years? 10 years? Pretty amazing, isn't it? So just click on the button below and get in now. And for you Empower Network members, get all in. Get your tickets to the event to Chicago. And, we will see you on Saturday. We're going to do 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, more technical training. So for those of you who are here who are looking for more hands-on how to generate leads, we're going to do that on Saturday. And actually this Saturday we're going to do how to create more traffic and generate how to generate more traffic and capture more leads with the same amount of work what you're doing now. So we're going to teach you how to capitalize on the amount of work that you're doing. So that's going to be Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same page. Just come back here, refresh the page at 11 a.m. and the Google Hangout should start. So hope you found value in what we talked about tonight. Uh, if you did, leave a comment. And if you have any questions, leave a comment as well. And we appreciate you being here. I believe in you, my friend. Go after what you want in life. Create a 6 and 7 figure mindset. I'll see you on Saturday. Take care.